First of all, I guess I'll start with you, Henry. Talk about out of the blue. Now, I know there was a red card, but even so, how many times have you heard managers say, oh, it's very hard to play against 10 men? That just came out of nowhere, that performance, from both sides, actually.
Yeah, and Danny, with your musical head on, you probably appreciated Madness playing It's an Embarrassment, because I think they're Chelsea fans, certainly Suggs's. Yes, I mean, it was embarrassing. I was slightly surprised looking at the team sheet beforehand, because I've seen a bit of Chelsea recently, particularly under Tuchel, and Christensen's been outstanding for them as the centre of the three centre-backs. Thiago Silva is such a big name, such a big personality. He's been so important to them. Earlier in the season, he came back in. And, I mean, look, it wasn't completely down to him. I mean, he deserved to go off. But there was just confusion all over. I mean, again, it needs a little bit of perspective. I mean, this is a team that's beaten Atletico Madrid home and away, beaten Liverpool, beaten Spurs. Everyone's been talking about how good Tuchel's been. So this is a little bit of a reality check. This is a little bit of, welcome to English football. This is a little bit of a reminder that the Premier League is the best league in the world. Not necessarily the most technical or full of the most talents, but it's got jeopardy in every game. Okay, Manchester City are running away with it. We understand that. But you can play teams down the bottom, and if you are not on it, those teams will punish you, as Pereira did, as kind of Robinson did. I thought they were absolutely terrific. And it was quite funny watching Sam Allardyce just in his seat, just almost getting the cigar out. He was absolutely loving it. But he was almost laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation of West Brom being 5-2 up.
It was cats and cream time for Sam, wasn't it? And Shaun, when your colleagues at the Sun were preparing for the newspaper the following day, you would not sat in the editorial meeting going, "Somebody keep an eye on that game at Stamford Bridge. That could easily be the back page lead." Could you? Amazing.
No, of course you wouldn't. It was one of those games actually, which on TV, we've got 8 games on Saturday and Sunday, and it's Easter weekend, and you think, well, I'll dip in on this one. I might have a little look, but I won't necessarily stick with it for the whole game because, Chelsea are going to win. And then it wasn't just that West Brom were winning. They were playing some really good football. I mean, really entertaining stuff. And Allardyce does have that in his locker, and he does know how to embarrass the top teams. He has done it before. We used to see, he used to love doing it to Arsenal and Arsene Wenger, not necessarily playing like that. But
no, with Kevin Davis clonking people about, really.
But, when he had... Look, you are going back a few years to the Bolton days, but when he did have skillful players, he knew what to do with them, and he's clearly got a few who've got a bit of skill at West Brom, and when he gets them going, he can produce results like that. I think it is probably too late for them, but you've got to hand it to him. I mean, they rattled Liverpool earlier in the season as well, didn't they? So they're not mugs. In fact, they're probably kicking themselves for the position they're in because they look like they have better quality players than the position they are in the Premier League.